Hi, my name is Mike Ward. I'm the Global Director of Content at Informa Pharma Insights. I'm here at the Biotech Showcase meeting. It's a meeting that runs parallel with the JP Morgan meeting in San Francisco at the start of every year, where the great, the good, the movers and the shakers of pharma, biotech, medtech all get together and they'll chat to potential partners and also potential investors. And I'm now joined by Dale Schenk, who's the president and CEO of a company, a local company around here, South San Francisco, called Prothena. You guys were a spin out from Elan Corp 3 years ago, and I understand that you took about 15 assets when you did that spin out. So,
yeah, sure. No, thanks, Mike. Yeah, very good, very good. No, we're very excited about what we're doing. We have 3 different antibodies in the clinic right now, in 3 years, which is not bad. It's a very exciting portfolio. We actually do something called protein immunotherapy, where we go after diseases where there's protein accumulation, like Parkinson's disease. We also do, our most advanced program is an orphan disease called light chain amyloidosis, and it's basically accumulation of protein in your heart or your kidney, and these patients that have it end up with heart failure, kidney failure, and we have we have a pivotal study going on in that right now as we speak. It's called VITAL. We're very excited about that. We've seen good cardiac responses with NeoD1, that's the name of the drug, and we've seen some very good renal responses as well. And so yeah. So
you said protein accumulation. So is there a particular process which is sort of consistent with in Parkinson's or the orphan disease area you talk about?
Yeah, there is. When proteins accumulate, the generic term is called amyloid, and you've probably heard of beta amyloid. In Parkinson's, it's synuclein, and light chain, it's a fragment of an antibody called light chain, of course. AA amyloid. They're all very similar in terms of where they end up. In fact, they even look similar once they get into the tissue. But you need unique therapies and antibodies for each and every one. And so we have different programs for each of them. That's right. And we've been doing this I always say we did amyloid before it was cool and all of that for 20-some years. And we're applying our knowledge and expertise with experienced team, both management and scientists, to these new entities since we emerged from Elan 3 years ago. So yeah, it's very exciting science.
Okay, so I guess the proof of concept in terms of that you can interrupt the accumulation process, that's already been resolved.
Yes.
Yeah. Now you haven't determined whether actually that's clinically meaningful.
That's right. Well, with light chain, as I mentioned, with light chain amyloidosis, we measure biomarkers, like in cardiac it's called pro-terminal BMP, and many of these patients, up to 60% of them, that marker is coming down. And when that comes down, it predicts longer survival, which is terrific. In the kidney, we're looking at proteinuria, where the kidneys lose protein, and that's dropping. Again, 60% or so. So again, that's exciting. And there's a lot of milestones coming up this year in 2016, which we're looking forward to. And that program, we have another we have an expansion study that we'll be reporting on later in the year for light chain amyloidosis, giving an update on our enrollment for our VITAL study.
So could you just let's focus on that particular area. So the trial you're running at the moment, how big is that trial? And
it's several hundred patients. Yeah, it's several hundred patients, and that particular
it's an orphan disease.
That's right. That's right. So it's, of course, it takes work to get these studies going, and we're doing everything we can to do that. It's going well. In that particular case, we're looking at all-cause mortality. Or cardiac hospitalization. Either one is an event, if you will, and we're looking for the difference between that who are treated and those who are not. Of course, it's double-blind, placebo-controlled study. So that's going well. We have another study where we're actually looking at the biomarker that I mentioned earlier, the cardiac biomarker, and see if it improves as well. So we have both studies ongoing in light chain amyloidosis.
And you say you're going to get the readouts for this year?
No, we won't get the readouts for this year. That's a different study. It's more of a phase 1/2 that we'll get a readout. Studies I just described, one of them, PRONTO, we'll get the readout at the end of 2017, 2018. And VITAL will take a while as well. So those aren't this year. Those are ongoing. I want to be clear on that.
So that's your lead program.
That's right.
And then
Parkinson's.
You've got two other programs.
We
in
do.
the clinic.
Yeah, and we have a Parkinson's program where we're doing that in collaboration with Roche, which is great partnership.
Yeah.
We think we have something that might be disease modifying. We have an antibody to something called synuclein. If synuclein is mutated or you make too much of it, you always get the disease.
Yeah.
It's the key pathology of the disease. We have what I believe the lead program in that. It's an antibody to it, and it keeps the synuclein, this protein, from propagating between your neurons and spreading the disease. Is what we've seen in the animal models, and hopefully that'll be the case in the patients. And that's, we've finished a phase 1, and we're in the middle of another phase 1, a larger phase 1 in patients right now. We're in the midst of that as we speak. We'll be sharing that data later this year too, the larger phase 1, the multiple ascending dose study this year as well.
Yeah, and could you share, I mean, what terms of the deal with Roche can you
Oh,
share?
yeah, but it's a 30-70 deal in the sense that we pay for 30% of all the costs, they pay for 70%, and then of course at the end of it, it's similar in terms of sales and that sort of thing. And then we have milestones along the way as well. So and we have a seat at the table, we jointly decide what we're going to do. It's not a royalty license. We actually are.
Okay, so it's not just co-development; it's actually co-commercialization as well.
We have the right to opt in on the commercialization
and that's the plan. You actually intend to build a commercial infrastructure for
yes. Specifically going back to the light chain program, we definitely plan to commercialize that ourselves, and we hope to and plan to play a role in the Parkinson's as well. I should just briefly mention our third program, which is more along the lines of our Tysabri heritage with Elan, but it's a cell adhesion program in the inflammation area. It's an antibody to something called Th17 T cells, MCAM on the surface, and that we're going to report out on phase 1 this year as well.
Right. Okay.
So we've got a lot going on, and it's very exciting. We've got other stuff in discovery, and we're having a terrific time doing it, and hopefully making a difference for patients.
So the company was founded three years ago.
Yeah.
You got these assets. You were able to take them out of Elan as part of that spin out. How's the company been, financed?
Well, we've done secondary offerings. We were emerged fully public, which was interesting, and then we've done secondary finances, and we have plus capitalization. We're well capitalized, plus 400 million in capitalization as we speak. So we're doing quite well on that front. And obviously the biotech market, this week excluded, has been good for the past couple of years.
Right. Okay. So you've got these three programs. Is that what's going to keep you busy this year, or
absolutely? That's plenty.
Are you looking to move other?
Yeah, we're always looking, and we have in discovery we have something called a TTR antibodies, which is another peripheral amyloidosis, yet different than light chain, and we'll move that in a couple of years into the clinic as well. So we're very, very busy. I mean, we have four programs alone in the light chain area.
So how big is the company? I mean,
we have 60-some folks here, but we're a Irish-based company, so we have a headquarters in Ireland. We have an office there, but we're growing rapidly as we speak. Yeah.
And
we have R&D here in South San Francisco.
And manufacturing. I mean, do you contract out the manufacturing?
We contract it out. I mean, we've been making antibodies for 20-some years, but we have very good contract manufacturing groups that we work with. Absolutely.
Right. Okay.
And we know what to worry about there.
Of course. And this meeting, I mean, as I mentioned in the preamble, it's where people can either touch base with potential partners or investors. For you, what has been sort of the focus of the kind of meetings you've tried to have?
Well, we've met with quite a few different investors and other companies as well, and of course it's great to see old colleagues and friends as always at these meetings. That's one of the best parts about this meeting. Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, Del, thanks very much for popping by.
Yeah,
Cheers.
Thank you.